Tonight's the night, gonna feel all right. Hey, good morning, everybody. Good to be with you here on Defo and 5. I'm Jeff DeForest, and that handsome gentleman over there is one Mike Lubie Lubitz in front of the Seminole helmet, the on-air sign. Did you steal that from the radio station on the way out the door?
That would have
That
been
on-air sign, that's a good one. That looks like an official on-air sign.
my in-laws gave it to me, I think, for Christmas, Hanukkah, but I wish I had done that. That's a great idea.
Yeah, may as well have just taken the on-air light, right? They didn't respect it anyway, right? They'd come busting in there whenever they were angry about something that we said. Are you kidding me? Are you going to keep asking Derek Jeter about his days with the Yankees? Yes. That was one of my favorite attacks that we were ever under by program director authority, and it was rare that they spoke to us ever, except when something seemed, in their opinion, to go haywire, which was also pretty rare. So, wasn't too bad all of those years. How many times? We always they always made the face. Like they were gargling with cod liver oil before they came to work. Just, what is this stuff? Call a doctor, call a nurse. Don't know what it is, but I know that it hurts. That's Albert Castillo, our good friend who laid down the music for us. All right, good to be with you. This is unprecedented, Louis. This is great. I checked this out. I did a little research this morning, and I looked up the 95-96 Miami Heat. And the Miami Heat that season got knocked out in the first round of the playoffs. So we have never, in South Florida sports history, the Miami Heat came into existence in the 88-89 season. And the Panthers, let's see, can you subtract 2 in your head from 95-96? That would be 94-95, 93-94, 93-94. Yeah. So we have never, when you're talking about, what does that add up to? 35 years of Heat history. And basically, 30 years of Panther history, 35 years, 65 combined years, but 30 years where the teams have been in existence together. They have never, ever both lined up with an opportunity, and certainly not on the same day, but never in history anyway, lined up with an opportunity to both clinch a spot in the conference finals, their individual respective conference finals, on the in the same season. Never happened before. So here we go. We're in uncharted waters, Mike Lubie Lubitz. And where do we stand with that? That's the question. Here's what they're saying in New York. Are you curious? All right, here are the changes that need to be made according to Zach Brazilier, who covers the New York Knicks for the New York Post, my sacred New York Post, the Bible of all sports sections right now. Robinson has to find his game. Talking about Mitchell Robinson. Getting smoked on the boards by Bam Adebayo. Bam Adebayo, by the way, we mentioned that, did that not look like a cinch in the last game? Bam Adebayo, you're getting 2-1, Lubie. Not even money, not 150-1, not 3-2. You were getting 2-1 on a double-double by Bam Adebayo. All you had to do was go ahead and say, yeah, he's probably going to get 10 points and 10 rebounds. No? Against the Knicks. Yeah, covered it easily. So you would have got 2-1 on that. That would have been my. That may be a lot less painful. I don't know. Is it any less painful than just betting the side in a ball game? Because I'm old school. The general concept is if you're going to bet on a game, you're going to bet on the game. You may take the points. You may get real ballsy and say, hey, I'm going to have it on the money line. Go ahead, give me the Heat on the money line tonight if you think they're going to win. Do you need the 3.5 points? Maybe. Is it going to be a close game? I think if the Heat lose, maybe the Knicks win by 10, something like that. They cover. Yeah. But there's a good possibility. I don't know. How much of a chance do you give the Miami Heat of closing out this series tonight? Because, as you know, this represents a very pivotal Game 5. Pivotal Game 5. What do you think?
It's definitely a pivotal Game 5.
Yes. Either the Knicks pivot into the summertime and wonder what to do next,
There's going to be a lot of
or they pivot right back down here to South Beach for another night of partying before they get closed down in 6. What do you think?
I don't know. Look, I've said that, and I know it's non-committal, and no one wants that, but I've bitched about the refs the entire series. We've now had, I think, every Knicks player bitch about the refs.
Yeah.
And then they're going home, and they do that on purpose because they know now it was. Look, we've already seen a game where a ref took over a quarter. I don't.
They may make Spike Lee a guest referee tonight just to make sure the Knicks have every possible advantage.
I don't think it's going to be any different. I mean, I think it's going to be very Knicks heavy, and we'll see what the Heat have. Bam hasn't. Like even when Bam's put games like this together in playoffs, we've seen it before. He did it Boston last year when everyone was dead and they needed Bam. He does. I don't remember him doing it back-to-back games. Like he finally was aggressive. I finally well into the fourth quarter when I think it was non-existent, but he had laid the foundation for them to have a nice lead, and that last group took it home. They need that. They're going to need that big time tonight, and I don't know if we're going to see it from Bam. Like Bam hasn't shown us that he's going to do that 2 games in a row.
I think he figured it out. I'm going to go
I hope you're
okay
right.
on that.
Then I could,
They're absolutely crucifying this Mitchell Robinson as if he was the key to the whole series. And actually went as far, the New York press, they talk about Aaron Rodgers going to have a good time with this whenever things go haywire. The New York press was asking Mitchell Robinson to respond to the notion that Bam Adebayo has owned him in the series. Owned him. That's how they put it to him.
Adebayo's better.
And he refuted that. All right. The second thing, flip the bench results. Heat bench getting a lot of productivity, and Knicks bench doing squadooch. That's one. The stars have to be stars. There's one for you, Libby.
But they have been.
The stars have to be stars. Well, yeah, they got 20 plus from all three of their big guys there. Randall, R.J. Barrett, Jalen Brunson had the high scoring total in the game. Even eclipsed Jimmy Butler's 27 with his 32. So that they've been getting. I don't know what the analysis is there. I don't want to go into too much detail and plagiarize this guy's article, and all of a sudden I'm Ed Sheeran standing trial in New York. Find the range from deep. These all seem like fairly simplistic, applications of what changes need to
They're
take
not a
place.
3-point shooting team. Like they've shot better than they're supposed to. They're a horrendous shooting team. Like what do they ask? What you need to say is we overestimated them. If you notice, that's the one thing they haven't said. They're not the team that they want. Mitchell Robinson's an average to bad player. They want him to be fucking Hakeem Olajuwon. Their three aren't stars. None of them. Brunson may finally be a star. Randall's not a star, and RJ Barrett's not a star. Put in the article, we overestimated them. Like they're all doing the things you want them to do. Their bench isn't good. Who's it? Josh Hart's like a nice player. He's not like a key bench figure in a playoff contending team. Like what are you guys doing in New York?
He's shown signs that maybe he could be. I mean, he hasn't been consistent enough. He had a horrible game in one of those games in Miami, but no, the Heat just seem to be better suited to play this type of game. And they found a little bit of a rhythm that they didn't have before, that most of the regular season this was missing. They're starting to make some shots, especially key shots from three-point range, where they were abysmal from long range all throughout the regular season. Inexplicably so, too. You would have fired the hitting coach if it was a baseball team. It's like, how the fuck is it that you guys can't shoot anymore? What the hell happened here? Anyway, they're a little concerned in New York.
They should be.
Back cover of the tabloids, of course, has them on the brink of elimination here. So that would be one. So I don't know. What are you thinking here, Libby? 3.5 points. Miami Heat, they've also shown times where, out of nowhere, they just disappear like the Celtics did last night against Philadelphia.
Yes. Yep.
And the Celtics are also inclined to do that, which would lead you to the belief that should the Heat prevail, which they should at this point, up 3-1, you would have to think this is major chokeology 101 if they don't close out the series somehow between now and the seventh game. And both Philadelphia and Boston have more than their share of flaws.
Yes.
They don't seem to be overwhelmingly powerful or consistently so. Boston early in the season threw about maybe a little past the All-Star game, and then they hit the skids a little bit. Which, you're saying, all right, they were so hot, it wasn't unnatural for them to have a streak where they were maybe sub 500 for 10 games. But, shown big vulnerability, and including losing at home frequently now. In the first couple of rounds of the playoffs, they get clobbered last night. They were held at bay almost throughout the entire ball game. It really never got too close. As Philadelphia smokes them 115-103 in a game that was teetering more around 15 to 20 points throughout most of the second half of that contest. So Philadelphia now up 3-2 on Boston with a game coming back to Philadelphia, city of brotherly love. And, it wouldn't be surprising if Boston found a way to win that game the way this series has gone so far. But, wow, I mean, the Heat certainly would be in there with a shot against either of those two teams. You would have to think. If they continue to play at the – here you go, Libby. You want a cliche? At the level that they're playing at right now. We'll see. This was an 8th seed. This was a pathetic team. This was a team that had no business being in the postseason. This was a team that a lot of the Heat Nation had already thrown in the towel on. Thought they would be better off employing a cut man than bringing in Cody Zeller.
Yeah, honestly.
Then beset by injuries in the postseason to what was already, I don't know, not a particularly deep. They played guys, but was it a really deep rotation of talent where you're looking at the 10th guy on the bench and go, man, that guy would be a star somewhere else? No. I don't know that you do that with any team, but it sounded good when I said it at the time.
No, there.
Anyway, yeah, I mean, in there with a shot. So, what's your prediction, Lubie? Let's go on the record here. Heat Knicks tonight.
I'll leave you to the prediction. I've abstained in this series. I'm not really confident. I just didn't understand why the Knicks fans were confident. Look, it should lean Knicks tonight. I won't put anything past the Heat. Jimmy Butler has yet to have one of those ridiculous performances. So to me, he knows he doesn't have to. Okay, so if the game's hanging in the balance and he's like, all right, I guess I got to do it, I'm not questioning him. We'll see what the Knicks bench. It was Quickly, right? Okay, well, Quickly was doing nothing and now was hurt. Maybe he comes back tonight. I guess he's doubtful, but he's not ruled out yet. I'm not scared of him. The Knicks bench has to be better. Okay, who's going to be Josh Hart? Josh Hart's not a bad player. Look, I wanted him on the Heat, but it wasn't because I thought he was going to be this force off the bench. It's because he's a nice defensive player. He can hit a three. Like they want him to be Tyler Hero, a guy who really should be starting, but you're just so lucky you can put him on the bench. Like that's not Josh Hart, isn't it? So that's what I'm saying. Like I see them getting better because they're going to be at home and they're going to get the whistles. And I do think Thibodeau's a good coach, so they'll find a way to be better. I just don't know how much better.
Thibodeau looks destroyed on the sidelines.
He does. He always. They're winning.
That's his normal look, though. A guy many years ago, there was a handicapper for the Miami News named Jim Milner. And we were, doing various features on Thoroughbred Racing on TV at the time. And, I was asking Milner, how do you size up a horse in a paddock? And he said, well, I mean, certain horses come in there and, they look like they're ready to go. And certain horses come in there looking like a disheveled, low-level schmink. And and you can't necessarily toss them out based on that look because that may be how they look all the time. So you have to compare how do they look compared to themselves. And, compared to himself, I guess Thibodeau looks fine, right? He looks like some busted out, degenerate gambling rabbi, doesn't he? I mean, just all slumped over there on his way back to Williamsburg, seeing if he can go see some guy named Kanish to borrow some money. John Turturro played that character in the great movie Rounders. Of course, he was a loan shark. All right, the Cats, I mean, they have an excellent chance, and the Buzzards are hovering over the Toronto Maple Leafs already. Hovering over them. And the reason is the Rangers want to swoop in and possibly hire away the coach, who may be thrown to the streets in Gerard Gallant-type fashion if he gets swept in the second round of the playoffs. So a lot riding on this game tonight for both sides, you would have to say. I mean, it doesn't take a genius to figure out there's a lot at stake, Lubie. A lot at stake. But maybe even more than meets the eye, huh? The old Transformers thing? Transformers, more than meets the eye. And you were very lucky, young man, that you came along in a different generation than I did, and that your kids will not be playing with Transformers.
I was the kid, though. I remember.
Oh, you were the kid. Wow.
I loved.
How many times did your old man, step on one of those Transformers while he was getting out of bed to go down to the kitchen or something? And, all of a sudden it's like, ah! And all you can hear is Transformers, more than meets the eye. And they were expensive as all hell, too. I mean, Toys R Us. Are they out of business? Because it seems impossible. They were the Home Depot of toys.
I know. It was my favorite place in the world. Yeah, they are. I think they opened up in some store where they're combined with some other store now.
Oh, yeah.
But there's not standalone Toys R Us, which was a sad day.
It's probably a check cashing store because you needed to cash a check to go in there. My kid hit an exacta, and I promised him, he was, about 7 or 8 years old at the time. I had to drag him to the track because I had an office there. We were making television shows out of Calder Racecourse. And, of course, my buddy and I had finished up what we were doing, so we wanted to hang around and bet a couple of races. Jesse had other ideas. Can we go, Dad? Can we go, Dad? And he wasn't really that type of kid. But you know what? If he wanted to go, he would let you know. That's for sure. Right? Stop just short of biting your ear off. But And so we promised him if he would stay for one more race, if we won the race, I would take him straight to Toys R Us, and he could buy whatever the hell he wanted.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay. Sure enough, we kept putting more and more money on the combination he liked. It came in. We cashed a big ticket, and Jesse made me make good on my promise. Come on, Dad. Now I want to stay for the nighttime simulcast. And he's like, let's go, Dad. We got to go to Toys R Us. So we go to Toys R Us, and he bought, there was a glove or something. It was like $75, which is like $7.50 by today's standards.
Yeah,
And some glove that was never used. I mean, I still, if I ever wanted to just, put a needle out there to my own son, who I love dearly, it would be, you still have that glove, the Transformers glove? It cost us $4 worth of our, $50 exacta that we had. $75 for that piece of shit. Unbelievable. Never used it. Is that just my computer that's going occasionally a little darker there, Lubie, or is that happening, in the view you're seeing?
I don't know. You look okay to me.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, because it keeps dropping off a shade or something.
Well, that's
all right. Very good. All right. Anyway, the Cats tonight. I think they close it out, and I think the Buzzards fly right over the Toronto Maple Leafs. Maple Leafs favored again in the most insulting series I've ever seen in terms of the odds on the games. The Maple Leafs are slight favorites. I don't know if that changed yet from yesterday. Let me thumb through the 30 pages of sports coverage you get in the New York Post. Mayo keeps busting my chops about this New York Post. He has just lost interest in sports is the problem, right?
After you left, and I'm curious about what you did. That sounded super fun.
We had a good time. It was very nice. I have a little report we can give on that on the show. Yeah, cruising the Intercoastal is always good. And it's Martin Sheen, Apocalypse Now. You're going right down the river. But you realize what opulence and sort of paradise conditions we live in here.
Well, the Intercoastal it's just like the rich and famous, like Robin Leach.
It's Leach, yeah. It really is. It's Tom Vu, man, telling you that you can buy houses with other people's money, which I've never been able to do for some reason. Have you?
Well, you tried it, and you did it with
your own. It was my money, unfortunately. It was like I sold my house before I, even paid for it. When they would give you a loan on anything, right? You would give them a dead parakeet, and they give you $300,000 in a line of equity. You have a job? No job.
Anyways, I woke up and I was like, look, the reason he talks about the Post is because it's a real section. He's not wrong. I can't fight him on it. Like, the other sports sections don't exist. New York Post does like 5 or 6 pages on regular
everything. Yeah, I mean all kinds of stuff here.
Like the Panthers don't have a beat writer in the Sun Sentinel.
Imagine it. Yeah.
The Heat, what is it, a page or two? Because it's Hyde and Winderman. Like they do 5 pages on baseball that no one gives a. Even in New York, you only give so much a shit about baseball right now. Like it's just different.
No, it's deep, and they cover a lot of different things. Well, you notice it, Lubie. I mean, me with no memory left anymore. And you'll be surprised that I'm aware of something that
Yes.
You would have not had any idea about, and that's mostly just from perusing because it's all right there in front of you. You don't have to thumb through and pick the stuff out yourself. It's there. They give it to you. Anyway, they give you a lot of odds and ends. So let's check this out. Knicks 3.5 over the Heat. Warriors 6 and a hook over the Lakers tonight.
Well,
wow, 6 and a hook over the Lakers.
They have to win.
Maple Leafs, a slight favorite. You get even money if you want to bet the Panthers straight up. You don't have to pay the vig.
Yeah.
And Maple Leafs, you have to lay 120 to win 100. So they're minus 120 favorites.
Yeah.
Over the Panthers tonight. That's crazy, huh?
Well, they assume they're not going to get swept, which I don't know.
Would you double down on that if you were? I mean, would you press it?
Yeah, you might. I mean, if you're thinking Panthers, you're thinking. Oh, there you go.
Yeah. This thing's a little off here. Something's happening there.
When we get done, you can.
All right, we okay there? All right.
Yeah, you're fine. You're there. I sort of agree. Like, I don't see them getting swept, but the Panthers have called every charge, like in the playoffs. Honestly, whenever it's felt like the other team was about to take any advantage, the Panthers are like, nah, we're good. I mean, and Bobrovsky can keep playing where he's actually a goalie and not a sieve.
Big price tonight on the Oilers Golden Knights. You get plus 150. 3-2 if you bet the Golden Knights tonight. They're up 2-1 in that series and absolutely annihilated Edmonton. But that's the second game in Edmonton. Have you noticed that the team that if they blow it on the home ice, they usually come back and do well. Toronto, though, I mean, I think they're up against it tonight. Well, we'll see what happens. Their guys need to wake up. International Hockey League last night, Carolina over New Jersey 6-1. So it looks like the Hurricanes would be waiting in the wings there. So, all right, we're going to join you again very shortly on South Florida Live. We'd love you to subscribe. I'm going to put it to my. Do you think my 5,000 Facebook friends are sincere enough to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Lubie? South Florida Live.
I'd love for you to.
I'm gonna have to put that out there like every day and tell every single one of them, right?
I'd love for you to be more active. They really follow what the hell you do. You talk about a bagel and you get 300 comments.
Oh, I was talking about my swollen right hand here, which has been torturing me for now another week. After I thought I was over this thing, and then wisely went out and tested it again on the tennis courts, and of course, right back in the same situation. But by the time I get to a doctor, I have an appointment. The earliest one I could get is a week from today.
What's going on with doctors? Like, why can't you get it? I don't know.
They're backed up like never before. It must be Medicare. I don't know. Is everybody in Florida on Medicare?
I think yes.
Yeah, pretty much, because with all the fraud out there. Hey, Rick, how do I get on Medicare? Rick Scott. Rubio made a fool of himself again yesterday, didn't he? All right, we have to run. We don't want to get into politics. So we'll see you on the Defo Show. That goes 7 to 9 live and then streams all day on South Florida Live. Please subscribe if you're a 5 Reasons fan. I would imagine 5 Reasons will be especially active today. So for Mike Lubie Lubitz, enjoy all the coverage, everybody. I'm Jeff DeForest. We'll see you next time on Defo on 5.